Okay, welcome everyone. This presentation is about to begin. Please note this event is being recorded. All participants in today's event will also have access to the recorded version, which will be available within 2 business days after the live event on the TESOL Call Interest Section YouTube channel. So TESOL International Association's Computer Assisted Language Learning Intersection is pleased to present this webinar titled, How to Use Voki to Engage Language Learners in Fun Speaking Activities. Our presenter is Dr. Nellie Deutsch. We are very pleased to welcome all of you to this webinar. My name is Mary Allegra, and I will be your moderator for today's event. Today's presentation will last 60 minutes and include a 10-minute question and answer period after Dr. Deutsch's presentation. To enter a question, simply type your question in the chat box during the presentation, and I will read those questions at the end, okay? In this webinar, the presenter will share how she uses Voki. Voki is a free, fun avatar that speaks, and teachers can use Voki to introduce their lessons and engage students in creating their own avatars for homework, for classwork, or projects, for reflections, and to add feedback comments. In this session, participants will learn how to create an avatar in the Voki Classroom and the Voki Hangout. So this is, we're going to have a little bit of practice. There is a reason why our presenter, Dr. Deutsch, already created, or she's sharing some accounts for you, and we would like you to start registering for those accounts. So let me introduce now our presenter, Dr. Nellie Deutsch. Dr. Deutsch is a Canadian education technology expert who organizes online programs for educators worldwide. She received her doctorate from the University of Phoenix in a blended learning program in 2010. Her doctoral dissertation, which is available on Amazon, is called Instructor Experiences with Implementing Technology in Blended Learning Courses in Higher Education. She combines technology with mindfulness, peer learning, and teamwork in all her programs. She is a relationship-based mentor, researcher, writer, speaker, and community builder. Her teaching experience of 40 years ranges from teaching English as a foreign language in high school and higher education, teaching listening, mindfulness, and leadership courses in Atlantic University, for example, academic writing teacher at Teachers College, English for academic purposes in different colleges, and to organizing online professional development programs using Moodle and other edtech tools for educators worldwide since 2003. And now, it is my pleasure and my honor to introduce today's speakers, Dr. Nellie Deutsch. Nellie, welcome to the program. Let's get started.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mary. And thank you everyone for being here. And those who are watching the recording, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to add them if you're watching the YouTube video on YouTube. And if you're here, just add them, as Mary said, to the chat box and we'll get back to you. This session is going to focus on Voki, of course, because that's what we're going to explore. I really suggest, I added some accounts. You don't need to register. What you do is you simply add your username, which is available, start from 2, not the first one because I used it, and then go on to add the password. So you have a username and password. You don't need to do anything else. All right, so first of all, I'm going to introduce you to the program, to avatars, and then I'm going to go through the purpose of a Voki in your classes, add some of the features available. There is the free and paid versions, and then add some amazing references that I was really, really happy to find online so that you can see how other teachers have used Voki and experimented with it. This is a bio of some of the things that I do. Mary didn't mention, so I will mention that I joined the TESOL Call IS. Well, I joined back. I was there previously. I'm now back on the steering committee, and I've also been on the EVO coordination team as a past chair and upcoming chair for a number of years. So if you're interested in learning about EVO, in addition, it's a TESOL Call IS project that I'm really, really proud to be a member of, and hope that you will join us. I joined Voki, which actually started in 2005, 1 year after Facebook was founded. It's an American company. The idea behind Voki, of course, is to get not only education and learners into the program, but also business people. So it has two venues. One is for education, the other one is for business. I started my first Voki in 2009. And it was called Sandbox. You can find it on my Voki account. It is not a very good one. I introduced a sandbox for teachers who were taking an EVO session on how to Moodle. The sound was not that great. So things have really developed in the past 12, 13 years. So it's a lot better. And there's the Voki that you can get on your phone, which is absolutely amazing. Very easy to use. Get the app. And you can also log in using the app so that you can pay attention to what's happening here and use your phone, if you're not using it for this Zoom meeting, to access the Voki app and then go in with one of the accounts that I suggested over there. Just make sure that you don't go into the same accounts because you'll be thrown out. So there are free and paid accounts. I had a free account for a number of years, and then I decided to get the paid accounts because the paid accounts have the option of adding classrooms and students to your classrooms. And also depends on the number of students. You can also get your school involved, which is what I did as well, so that you can have free accounts for the whole school or school district. Whoever pays can manage that. So what is Voki? Well, Voki has a few features. Voki Creator, where you create your avatar, which is a lot of fun. There's the Voki Presenter, where you can create PowerPoint presentations. Now, everything here is what you as a teacher and your students can do. So it's both for your school, your teachers, you as a teacher, and your students. There's Voki Hangouts that you're going to try out today at the end of this, well, during the session. There's Voki Classroom, as I said, that you need to pay for, of course. Voki Teach, where you can get lessons from other teachers. There's a repository of lots of amazing lessons. And before I even start talking about this, I haven't asked you a very important question. If you can add in the chat box, are you a K-12, higher education, adult? What age groups do you have? Because Voki is for all age groups. However, the lessons that are there are mostly for K-12 teachers, for young learners. So let me just check the chat just to get an idea. If you're higher education, I see 3 from higher. We didn't add a poll, but you know, we don't have that many participants, so it's easy enough to go through. Higher education, middle. Okay, middle and high school, Mary, thank you. Higher and young learners. Hi, Zainab. Yeah, it's a great combination. I think that really, if you get a chance to teach young learners, it really helped me. I mean, I went from higher education to high school, then I went down to junior high, and I loved it because I learned so much from students. You really learn a lot about how to really get to students when you teach younger learners. They really become your teachers. So great. So I see we have mostly, I would say, higher higher education, but that's fine. Everybody loves it. All right, so Voki Classroom, Voki Teach, as I said, it's on the web. So it's web-based as well as the app. And the app is really, really amazing. It's for young learners, adult learners, teachers, and of course, presenters. Presenters can also create a Voki, whether in business or education or any kind of presenter for whatever purpose. How is it used? Well, you record directly. And before I go on, I also want to ask, has anyone used Voki before? I think Zainab, you probably have. Have you used Voki before? Yes, okay, Zainab, I was right. I use it with in my teacher training and professional development with adult teachers. So yes, Irena, okay. And if you've learned it from me, you can add that as well. You know, sometimes I think that, you know, teachers of all ages, it doesn't matter what age groups you teach and your age, everybody loves to engage when it comes to avatars. It's just a lot of fun. So you record directly. And today, with the situation of the lockdown in many schools or the high flex at most universities around the world, it's really important for us to be able to feel that we're engaging our learners and that we connect with them. And this is a great way to connect with students. And I'll be calling them learners as much as possible. So it's audio recording, but you can also have an upload using your phone or desktop, upload recordings that you have already created to Voki. Voki also has the option of having someone else speak for you, so you can actually add text and choose an avatar with whatever accent you want. So if you're Canadian or American like me, you know, you probably prefer British accents, but you can also have German. You know, participants love this because they get a chance to hear German, you know, English with a German accent. So it's a lot of fun getting different accents, but that's only with the text to speech. You can also grade students if you're using the Voki Classroom, and of course, add lessons. Why should you do this? Well, for introductions. Students love it when they hear an introduction, not by the teacher. They don't see the teacher, but they see an avatar. You know, for some reason, we connect well with avatars. It's just another way of inspiring and motivating learners. It can be done, as I said before, by teachers and the learner. You can also get feedback and reflections through the Hangout on Voki. It helps learners, and this has been documented by many research, and it's been done around the world. I try to provide references to current research, 2021, so that you get an idea of how teachers were using this during the pandemic, which hasn't ended yet, but let's say during the pandemic, but still here. It improves speaking and it raises confidence. I've seen this in my own classes where students become a lot more confident, and it provides critical thinking where you have to create the avatar, you have to come up with ideas on the background and so on. So lots of thinking going on, and it's fun, and learning should be fun. All right, so this is what you will see when you log in to get your account. But since I provided you with usernames and passwords, all you have to do is click on the login and you're in. How many of you have started, are in already? Just let me know in the chat if you're in so I can get an idea. How many are in? You're in, Anastat. That's great. You have started, logged in, right? I knew you would be fast. That's great. All right. So are you using your phone? Just curious, or did you use the desktop, the browser? Desktop. All right. Feel free to use your phone. All right. Whatever works for you for now. Hello, Min. Great to see you here. I'm glad you made it. Wonderful. All right. So that's what it looks like. The image might be different because they keep changing it. So right now you see one image. When you go in, you'll probably see another one. That's okay. All right. So that's the login. So you log in with what I've given you, and then you get the password. And for those who missed it, should I add it back in the chat? I don't know what happens to the chat, but let me add it again. I still have it on my mouse. There's the list, but make sure that nobody else has yours. Okay, great. So there it is. Feel free to ask me for anything, and Mary will make sure that I get your message from the chat in case. This PowerPoint presentation will be available. I'll add it to the chat as soon as I can, so that you're able to click on some of these things and get everything. So very easy to log in. And this is the Voki Creator. You click on Create New, but this is what you do when you have an account. So don't do anything right now. We'll get to how you're going to utilize the logins that I provided you later on. But this is just, I'm just going to take you through the process. Instead of going in and demonstrating from the site itself, I've created PowerPoint slides that you can follow at any time, because some of these things you won't be able to see unless you have a teacher account. All right, so there's our Voki avatar. That just came up. Something will come up, and you know, many learners get a kick out of this because they get a chance to be something else, not just themselves. And this has become quite popular. And I don't know if you're familiar with Second Life or virtual worlds, but even Facebook is going, well, now it's called Meta, is going into the avatar generation. So maybe this is the future. So maybe Voki thought of this in 2005, but maybe that's the direction. If you look at the left, you'll get a list of head, clothing, virtual background, colors, and audio. Okay, I'm referring to the left here. And then, of course, save the minute you have anything at the bottom left. So if you go to the head, this is what you'll get. You'll get a list of all kinds of things. Notice these are strange creatures, but you don't only get strange creatures, you also get human-like creatures. You just go through the list by going into, notice, I don't know, I hate Zoom's stick, because you have to go back and forth. So take a look at the middle here, and you see the head in the square, and then on the right, you'll get these avatars, and you go right through the list, lots of them available. Next, the audio. Now the audio, as I said, there are two ways of doing this. One way is to get the text in. So you write your speech, and this is important for adult students especially, but for even young learners, to get their speech in there in such a way. Mary, did you say something?
No, not me.
Okay. To get their speech in there and then have it spoken. If they have grammatical mistakes, actually the teacher can help out with this if that's an issue. And then they decide who to choose, male or female. There's a list there with the arrow pointing down for number 2. And then they just hit the arrow on the left, and then the avatar will speak. Next, you can also get your phone. You can call this number and actually use the passcode and speak through your phone. Now, this used to be really, really necessary in the past, but maybe now too. I don't know if you ever use your phone for Zoom or for anything online, but if you do, or if students need their phones, this is a chance to call to the number and be able to speak whatever you want to say. There's also an audio library of all the audios that you've used. Those are mine that you see there. Let me know if there are any questions up to here.
No questions so far.
No
Just a comment.
questions? All right.
No,
So, it
so
must be
only a comment. I have chosen a female name, but the voice is male. So I suppose things happen.
So choose a female. Yeah, you need to, let's go back here. There, you see Julie, you need to scroll down and then decide what accent you want. The accent's on the left. You can also have, funny speeches if you go into the outer space and these funny characters. But if you go to the right, you'll see Julie, and then you'll see others under that. You'll see male names and female. There's Dave there, different names. I hope you got that. All right, so what you should focus on, notice there are 4 ways of getting the audio. One is by text, that's on the left, T for text. The icon for a microphone is your voice, the phone, and then guess what's on the right? Any ideas what's on the right there?
Maybe to save audios or sound, to save, a folder to save different sounds.
Okay, that's a good one. Yes, that's actually your library. That's right. You can get sound from your library. Very good, whoever said that. All right, great. Okay, so next, you need to add your name. After you add your name, you save it, and then you can share it with the world or create something new. This is the presentations. Notice all the available features. Okay, I'm going to go on. We're not going to go through that, but that's available on the slide so you can see that. Next is the Voki Hangout, and this is where we start interacting, hopefully. All right, so the Hangout, notice number 1, you need to add a topic, and I've added a topic. If you've gone in with your login, one of the logins that I provided, you'll be able to see the topic. Anyone log in and see the topic? Let me know in the chat if you're there. I'm sure we've got some fast participants here who do the work really fast. Hi, Susanna, female name. I hope the name changed to male. It's not automatic. Okay, you need to choose because, some participants, some learners like to have a female avatar with a male voice. So this is a chance for them to play around and have some fun, have a man's with a woman's voice and a woman with a man's voice. Okay, so, all right, so we're gonna go step by step. Number 2, this is from the teacher's perspectives. You can grade your students' work, their Hangout. And then of course you save it. So what you see on the screen right now is how to create a Voki Hangout. Next is what it will look like, not only for you as the teacher, but also for the learner. What the learner will do is the learner will click on Add Thought. So if you could all just go in to your account, the one that I added for you. Let me see, make sure that everybody has that in the chat. I'm going to add the link again for anyone who came in later. Okay, so there's the link. There's a list there. There are how many people here? 12 or no, 15, right?
19.
19. That includes us, right? So that's
exactly.
17. 17. Okay, so 17 will be able to use one of the username and password. If it says that it's already in use, choose another one. Okay, so let me know in the chat. Mary, you can try it out too, because there are enough. I created 28. The first one is taken. I took it, so I could check it out.
There is a question here,
Yes.
Nellie. Anastasia asked, can we join the Hangout from our personal accounts?
I don't know. I guess you could. Try it out. Try it out and let me see. You would need the link to the Hangout though. So I would have to share that with you. And I think the link is, let me get the link for you. Okay, right now what you see is my account. Okay, I'm going to go into the Hangout. Zoom is really slow with the screen sharing, which is why I opted for the presentation, even though it's Google.
Irina has a question. She said, what sound we write in add?
What's the question?
What should we write in add?
In the app. Oh, you write
Add.
your username.
ADD.
Yes. Yeah. You go to Voki. You just write Voki. It's let me just go back here. It's Voki Education. There's only one Voki. It opens it up right away, so it's hard. Let's see. Okay, yeah, it's Voki for Education.
Oh,
it looks like you see the icon of Voki, the one at the top left
she's
of my
clarifying.
screen. Did you find it?
Yeah, she says, no, I mean add thought. Where it says add thought, where should we write?
Oh, you just click on it. Oh, that's a great question. Click on it. Click on the add thought. So let me go into the, for our participants who needs the link. It's really slow. Oh, okay. All right. So what you're doing is this one, engage learners. Let me click on it. You don't add a new topic. Okay, so you're going to go, oh, see, this is me. I created this yesterday. You click on the add thought. I'm going to get the link for the add thought. You click on the add thought, and then Voki comes out, the Voki Create. This is the Create. It'll take a few seconds because I'm screen sharing here. And then, excuse me, then, oh my gosh, wow, that's terrible. I don't want to use that one. Some of them are really scary. Okay, what do you think of this? Do you want to use this one? Yes, no? Would you use this one? I don't know. I wouldn't. All right, so I'm going to go to the head. So I get another head. I don't want that head. So I don't want none of these. I want a normal head. I don't know, it's just me. Maybe I'm just, but the kids love it. And even adults, it's not just the kids. Learners just love it. So let me look for a normal head. Okay, so I don't get these weird ones. Okay, this is the one that's normal, the one with a tie. Okay, no head, I mean, no eyes, just the face. I'll click on that and then I'll get more normal ones, what I call normal. Okay, so then you can choose. If someone's microphone is open, can you switch it off? There, so I clicked on this woman. There she is. Okay, so now I have a fairly normal woman. I can go to the colors and change her colors. Do you see the palette, the color, the artist palette? That's where you change it to whatever colors you want. You can change her lips. Let's see what color lips. Blue lips, purple, green lips, whatever lips you want. Okay, I'm very conventional, as you can see. The eyes, you can choose what color eyes you want, from yellow to, you know, choose the colors. I think this, yeah. Hands, or actually, sorry, that's skin color, if you want a darker skin. Skin color, okay, and then you can choose from here too, from the color. palette. Okay, so if you want someone really, okay, whatever. Okay, but here is where the critical thinking comes in. You really have to think if your assignment for the students is based on facial features, if you're teaching facial, and you want everybody to, you're teaching colors and parts of the body or whatever for younger learners or for adult learners even, you can play around with this so that everybody looks the same. You know, it's up to you how you do it. And then the hair, of course, I can change the hair color. Okay, you get the, kids get the idea really, really fast. I mean, they don't need any kind of instruction, so you can get them to, what else do we have here? And then we can get to the clothing. If you want to change her clothing, again, you go to the palette and you can change the colors of whatever she's wearing, go to the background. You can also upload your own background. Okay, I have uploaded by going to the plus. Let's see what I have here, free professional development. There's my background. All right, and then I can save, well, before I save anything, it's not going to let me save unless I go to the audio. This is where I add the sound. Okay, so who had problems? Raise your hand if you had problems. You chose a woman and you got a man's voice. So let's say I choose Julie. You chose Julie. Who did you choose? Julie. And then you said you got a man's voice. Okay, look, what should we tell Julie? Hi there. Hi there. How are you? Okay, for example, so let me play that by going to the arrow on the left.
Hi there, how are you?
That's a woman. Julie speaking. Now, if it doesn't sound right, you can always change it, which is what I did. I'll show you later.
Hi there, how are you?
Okay, she spoke a bit fast. Hi there. We can get her to maybe speak slower here.
Hi there, how are you?
Yeah, she's very fast, isn't she? All right, you could also add, notice here, a bullhorn, chipmunk, dimwit. You can add all kinds of other squeaky sounds. Let's add the slow.
Hi there, how are you?
Okay, she was a bit slower.
Hi there, how are you?
Okay, well, and then we save. You can save as draft or submit. Let me know if there are any questions. It would be great if maybe we could let them unmute themselves and speak as we go. Is that possible, Mary? What do you think?
Yes, of course. They can speak if they wish, but we
Okay.
didn't see that before. I mean,
Yeah,
I
if you
suppose
have
they
any
are.
questions, so I don't have to go to the chat every second. Okay, so you click on add thought and notice I have my thought. And then you can respond to it with a heart. Okay, let me respond with a heart. You can also reply. You can reply to each other. If I want to add a heart to
Great
this
to
one.
be able to add my input.
Okay, that was me talking. You can add a reply, feedback there. So I can add a reply to this, this guy. Again, by creating a Voki reply, so students can reply to each other. And again, how do you reply? You create a Voki. So it's a Voki. Oh, she's cute. Okay, so I can add voice to her and say, glad you made it. Glad you made it. Or I can add my own voice, of course. And this time, let me choose Catherine. And what accent do I want? Oh, she's
Glad you made.
Yeah, she's UK. So here it only says UK. There we go. Let's go to some Indian, German, UK, South African. I like Indian accents. I'm sorry. Irish, Moara. There, Irish.
Glad you made.
No, that didn't sound. You made, I forgot the IT. Glad you made it. there used to be German here. I don't know. I think you can get other languages from what I remember. I remember my students choosing German and having fun with that.
Glad you made it.
Yeah, so you can get different accents. All right, let me save that. So that's my reply or reflection to somebody else, or feedback, whatever you'd like it to be. So the idea, of course, I think you got it. You can also, so that's a reply to someone else who happens to be me. And then you can also
Glad you
share
made it.
on Facebook, Twitter, and so on. So you can get other people involved. Okay, so far I don't see anybody. Has anybody added it? You could also approve. I disabled the approve. Oh, yeah, there it is. Voki 28. Yay. Okay, so Voki 28 from today. Wow, you look great. All right, so let's see. Is this Julie? I don't know. Let's hear what this participant had to say. Okay, as you know that when you screen share, things are a bit slower. Let me there.
Salut, je m'appelle Chloé, je suis canadienne.
Oh, très bien. I love that. Thank you. There we got French. Lovely. A French Canadian. Oh, that is so exciting. All right. Thank you so much for that. So that's the idea. Let me go back here and feel free to unmute yourselves if I think Mary gave you rights so that you can speak and ask questions or add your comments as we go. I'm going to go on now. That was the Hangout. Okay, there are further explanations here about the Hangout that students and teachers actually view the same things, and you just add your thoughts. Next is the classroom. This is absolutely amazing. The Voki Classroom, where you can create a class for your students, and then you can add assignments, homework, or classwork. What they start in class, you can do this on Zoom. They can work in teams as well and conduct their work. So that's the classroom. You can add a new assignment. You can add a few assignments to the same class. Notice number one, you can also add students. Number two, that's you go to students and you click on add. It's very intuitive, very easy to use, but you can use these slides for any help that you may need. And then number three, you can choose from your classes. You can give assignments to different classes, same assignments, or you can give assignment per student. And I think that's amazing because you can have personalized learning where certain students or maybe, you know, individual students get their own assignment. If you have a private tutoring classes or school, this is great for that as well, for one-on-one tutoring. Number four, when the assignment is ready, you will see it under assignments ready. And then you also have the students. If students forget their login, password, username, and password, you can always share that with them. Number six is the action that you will take. Notice these are the actions. You can assign the assignment to a class. The assignment could be audio and text, where students need to also add text. Okay, this is how you add an assignment. Notice the two types, presenter assignment and character assignment. You can make it moderated with password or without. And notice the process. A student completes the assignment. The student needs to tick on ready for review and submit the assignment. And then the teacher gets the assignment. It's all really organized in a very systematic way. This is one assignment that I added as a student. The status means that I haven't added the written part. So the assignments could also be written assignments where students need to add text. So it's not just audio, but also text. If the student hasn't done the expected work, that's fine. The student can try it again. and then wait until it gets approved, which really helps because it means that the student can go on doing this. It's not just a one-time process where either you do it right or wrong and that's it. So you get a chance, a second chance. Notice the writing assignment. I love this part. Here you can ask a question and the students need to answer. They can also add their answers in a Word document, and then they can upload it. So they don't just have to, this is for offline students who can't always work online because their internet may not work. So they don't have to add the assignment, the writing the text directly in the web browser. They can do it offline and then add it this way when they do have internet. So at least they get the work done, and then of course they save it and they need to tick on submit. If it's still in progress, the teacher will see in progress. So they need to go to the submit. The submit, you can see what it looks like. It's an icon, but if you hover your mouse over it, you'll see the word submit. And then they have to okay the submission. In other words, submit the assignment, yes or no, are you sure? And they have to think a little bit. And then when they're ready, and that's where the confidence comes in also, because, you know, it's not like you hit the submit and it goes through and then you think, oh my gosh, I wasn't ready. So it gives them a chance to really be ready. And then they have to tick that it's ready for review. And then the teacher reviews it. And then the teacher approves it if it's ready. And then the learner and the teacher can share it. The teacher and the student can share. Notice the teacher share is a different color. There you can see the classroom, and the student share is in purple. So that's the process. The student can share it on Facebook, Twitter, WordPress, Blogger, by email, can share the link or embed it. And this is what my assignment looks like. Okay, that's the assignment that I created. Let me know if there are any questions before I go to the repositories. As I said at the beginning, teachers also have a repository, which is a chance for them to view lessons. There are 3 repository. One is lessons, one is hooks, all kinds of short prompts for lessons, and there are also projects. These are teacher-based, which means the teachers add them. If you have something you'd like to add it, you can do that as well. So let me just check the chat if there are any questions.
No questions, but
no questions, just
concerns.
comments. Okay,
Yeah,
can you
there are
tell which
some concerns.
features are free? Yes, you can tell which features are free. That's a great question, very important. As I said, I wouldn't pay right away. I would, first of all, find out if your school has it. They may have it, you don't even know about it. So you can get it for free. But otherwise, I would start with a free and not worry about anything. But you're welcome to contact me through Voki and find out, you know, how you're doing. These are the lessons that are available. You can see the lessons, the hooks, the projects that you can do. And of course, these are the references. Now the references are at, how am I doing with time, Mary?
We still have 10 minutes.
Okay, great. So these are the references before we get some questions and feedback from you. References, they're great. And notice 218, 221, 2020, sorry. Lots of references, current references from teachers around the world who've been using it. It's great for pronunciation, to improve pronunciation, because students listen when they add their text, they're able to listen, and then they can mimic pronunciations, you know, from and accents if they wish to do that. Also, the fact that virtual avatars actually help students focus and remember things a lot better. And there's the role of a virtual avatar in attention and memory tasks. wonderful research, also research on peer feedback. These are all Voki-based research studies. I was amazed that there's so many of them. There's also
Another question.
yes, there's a question. Yes, go ahead.
What kind of language learning activities are best suitable in Voki?
I'm not
What
sure.
kind of language learning activities are best or are suitable in Voki?
Well, any kind of audio activities, no video, by the way, it's all audio. Any audio activities, you know, to improve spoken English. So if you like your students to create an avatar or reflect, respond using an avatar instead of text or in addition to text. Yes, go ahead. I can't hear you.
Is
I'm
someone
sorry.
talking or it's a mistake?
Yes, someone's talking. Hi there. Maybe I should stop screen sharing. We could hear better. Someone was speaking and I couldn't hear.
Oh yeah, I think someone is speaking. Jose, are you there? You want to speak?
Yes,
Was it Jose who was?
Yeah, but maybe it was a mistake. I wanted to ask you, Nellie, you know,
Yes.
I see that this app is not only for pronunciation or for speaking. I mean, students can also practice their vocabulary. They can write. They can practice their grammar. So it is, I mean, a very
No, of course. When
app.
I say speaking, yeah, of course. When I say speaking, I mean that's included. You know, it's of course your competence is not just whatever comes out of your mouth. Of course, it's based on grammar and vocabulary. Yes, but teachers could have a list of vocabulary words and then have an assignment. You know, storytelling. Tell a story of you know, if you're using the past, for example, what did you do yesterday? And then they respond through Voki. Or what are you doing tomorrow? I mean, very basic things, or higher grammar using, you know, who, what, where. You know, it depends on where you are with your students. But in general, yes, you could do grammatical, pronunciation, vocabulary, reading. Based on reading, you could have questions based on reading and have your students respond by voice. The idea, of course, is voice. That's what Voki is about. It's responding through voice.
I find it very interesting and, you know, very helpful because, I mean, it has a lot of functions and it's beautiful. You know that there is a concern. I'm sorry, you wanted to say something?
Yes, go ahead.
There is a concern here. Irina said, I mean, some minutes ago, unfortunately, we are obliged to use Moodle. She's concerned about that. And
okay,
then
great.
Susan, you want to say something about that?
I think everybody should be using Moodle. I'm a Moodle freak. I guess it's a freak already by this time. I've been using Moodle since 2003. So my world is Moodle. I do everything on Moodle and I add Voki to Moodle. So what is the question about Moodle? Because Voki can be used, you know, anywhere as standalone in Moodle, in Canvas, Google Classroom, wherever you're using, you know, whatever LMS you're using. So if you're forced to use Moodle, I congratulate your administration, first of all. And if you want any Moodle tips, join Evo 22. There's a session, a 5-week session coming up in January on how to use Moodle and all kinds of ideas, and Voki is included.
You know, I think you are responding Mirna Quintero's question. She says, can we use Voki in Google Classroom?
Yeah, of course. Yes, of course. I love Google Classroom. I also used, even though I prefer Moodle, I have used Google Classroom. It's easy, very easy to use. I would say easier than Moodle, of course. Yes, you can use Voki in your Google Classroom, of course.
There is a question here, Susanna.
Yes.
From Lisbon. She said, thank you. So Voki will be great if instead of filming themselves like in Flipgrid, students use an avatar instead. Do the teachers have access to the written text of the avatar?
Excellent question. The way I used it in the face-to-face classroom, I would walk around in the computer lab or computer room or in the classroom if they were using their phones, and I would help them out with the text if necessary. Otherwise, they can send you the text, whatever LMS you're using. If you're using face-to-face or if you're online, they send you the text or WhatsApp. You can have classes on WhatsApp too, you know, groups, and that's your LMS. Yes, and then they simply, you help them out with the text.
Okay.
Or
great.
you can use Google, you know, Google Docs and have everybody write their text there, and then you can, you know, help them out there. I don't know what system you're using, but yes, of course, I
Okay.
have learned. Thank you.
Irina says here, I ask my students to choose an avatar speaking on the topic about myself.
Excellent. That's great. Yes, that's a great way for students to introduce themselves at all ages. And I use that on a regular basis with my adult learners. It's a great way to really get to know each other. And it's fun. It's so much fun to listen, you know, to the avatars as they introduce themselves. And by the way, about students being shy, this is great for those that don't want to show their faces.
Yeah, that is true. Well, there are some comments here. Min, for example, says, I have learned from you everything, Dr. Nellie. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What you have supported around the world.
Thank you. There's a question here. Could it be used with Blackboard? Now, there's no reason why not. I mean, you can add links to Blackboard. You can embed. It's shared also by embedding. You can embed things. So let me go over here. Notice everything has, you could Facebook and so on, but also embed. Not the Hangout, but other things can be embedded. If I go into my Voki, there are two ways of sharing it. Well, three, with email, the link, and you can also share embed, so you can add it to a website. Now, Blackboard is a website like Moodle, okay? It is a website. So unless your administration prohibits you from adding links, then it shouldn't be a problem with Blackboard. But you're saying Blackboard Collaborate. That's not an LMS. That's a lot. That's like Zoom. Is that what you mean? Oh, no, I loved your French, Irena. Thank you. Since as a Canadian, French is our second language, or in some cases first. So Laura, about, I'm not sure what the question is. I see it was a private message by mistake.
Exactly.
Yeah, sorry, nobody else saw that. Yeah, it went private. So I'm not sure when you say Blackboard Collaborate, if you mean the Zoom-like meeting or if you mean the LMS, Blackboard LMS. But yes, you can do it in a Zoom meeting, of course. You can give students a chance to work while they're on Zoom. That's always an option. I'm trying to go into my Vokis here. So you can see that, yeah, Zoom is just taking, there maybe it's coming up. Yeah, Zoom is taking all the power out of my connection here, and I'm not, let me go into create, maybe that'll help. But in any case, you can embed, oh, it finally came up. Okay, so notice these are some of these are mine, some of them are my students, where they either reflect or introduce themselves. Notice I introduced myself. You can go through these through my Vokis if you join me. So I usually add them. You can see there are participants from around the globe, not just me, but others are here. So yours can also appear. This is the one that I created. This is the one. Okay, and the way to share them is simply to go to the share, hit on the share, and then you'll get a chance to share it, to embed it there. Okay, it's coming up. Share a Voki character. Besides sharing it in social networks, you can also share it as an embed. There's the embed. Does everybody see that? I don't know why I'm not able to. All right. Do you see it? The share here? Does everybody see that? It's two arrows pointing in two different directions with a line. So it's, let me see if I can add that there. Do you see that share? Oh no, I sent a private message, sorry. It was open on private. Let me get that to everyone. There, that's the share. That's the icon for share. They use a lot of icons. So if you click on that, on the icon to share, you'll see that you're able to share it in different ways. The standard, I don't know if you're familiar with this, the script. And there's also, you can get a different size here, different sizes, small custom size. And you can also share it with no Java. Okay, the iframe. The best way to share anything is with the iframe, not the Java, because not all the sites have Java. So you simply, this is what I share on Moodle. I simply click on that, copy it, and then share it on Moodle for someone who asked about Moodle. Okay, so are there any other questions?
No, so far. I mean, I was asking if they would use, I mean, who would use Voki in their following classes, and some of them, you know, raised their hands or said yes.
Okay, great. So there's a question by Mirna.
Oh yes,
very good question.
Mirna.
Could we insert audio? Yes, you can create audio wherever you want, and then save it on your computer, and then you can browse through your computer files and add it. And there are three ways of adding audio. One is your voice, one is the avatar, the chosen avatar that you want to speak. And then the third one is a pre-created audio that you created, and you can work with your students on this, and then you can browse through your computer system and bring it to when you create the new. Okay, so if I go into create new, that was a great question. Let me share the link to the, let me stop here. I'll stop screen sharing so I can share the link. I think that it'll be really easy for you to follow. You can print it out, of course, and do whatever you want with it. You could even copy it. Let me get out of here. You can copy it and use it, add to it. You can use the slides. You can, I mean, I'm fine with it. You don't have to ask for permission. So I'm adding it to the chat. So there's the link to the PowerPoint. And everything's there, including some Voki. I think some are left. If you want some users and you want to give to your friends, that's fine. They can also try out the Hangout to your colleagues. Yeah, okay. All right, so I think we're done, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so it was a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Mary, and thank you everyone for being here. I hope you use Voki. Don't be afraid. You know, it could be, I mean, everything is scary at the beginning, you know, we all went through that. Try it, give it a try, create your own Voki, get an account, try to introduce yourself, play around with it. Don't get addicted because it is addictive.
Thank-
I mean, teachers love it, students love it, and let your students have some fun. Just, you know, tell them about Voki and say, how about letting me know how you feel today with a Voki? How do you feel today?
That's great.
Choose a Voki that reflects how you feel. Could be
Okay.
a monster.
Well, thank you very much, dear
you, everyone.
Nelly. It has been, you know, great. I love it. I mean, I wasn't in the account you created because I wanted to give others the chance to do it. But for sure, in my case, and I know the case of some of who are here in the chat with us, they're going to try Voki, and I will do it as well with my middle school and my high school students. Thank you very much. It was great. We have learned a lot from you. It has been a pleasure for us. And we're very happy and honored to have you here in the Tiso Cola, yes, or the intersection. We're very happy to have you there. And
Thank you.
okay, I think I love Voki. Okay, so this is the end of this webinar. We wish you, I mean, Tiso Hall intersection wishes you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we'll have a very nice presentation in the first days of January. We hope to have you here with us very soon. So thank you very much. We'll see you soon. You can disconnect now if you wish.